After spending years in enterprise planning overseeing hundreds of millions in revenue, I thought misaligned stakeholders in never-ending PRD and project charter rewrites were just something every team had to deal with. But it turns out they weren't the problem. The planning process itself was. And once I figured that out, I spent years putting together an operating system that actually fixes it, allowing you to plan enterprise projects in minutes to hours instead of multiple months of effort. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly why planning cycles drag on as long as they do, and then show you the whole system live from start to finish. By the end, you'll be planning light years faster than anyone else. Let's dive in. So the core problem isn't that enterprise teams lack talent or resources. It's that no single system owns the planning process from start to finish. The business side owns the problem, IT owns the execution, PMO is stuck in the middle trying to connect the dots between the two. And because nobody fully owns it, every handoff is where context gets lost, decisions slow down, and nothing actually moves forward. That's before any work on execution has even started. So the first thing that breaks is the problem definition, and it breaks early. When a problem statement's vague or incomplete, teams don't realize it right away because the issues only surface once the build is already in motion. By that point, you're looking at dependencies that were never mapped, stakeholders that were never engaged, and risks that were never surfaced. And fixing any of that mid-build is where projects blow their timeline and their budget. The second thing that breaks is stakeholder alignment. And this one is probably the most expensive in terms of wasted time. Getting the right experts involved early is genuinely one of the hardest things to do at the enterprise level, because by the time everyone who needs to weigh in actually does, the plan has already changed 3 times. So teams end up spending weeks just going back and forth, trying to get to a version of the plan that everyone can actually agree on. And when the wrong person was in the room from the start, or the right person was left out, requirements start shifting and the whole cycle resets. And when those two things break, momentum goes with them. Cycles that should take weeks stretch into months, and execution almost always gets blamed for the delay. But you can't execute your way out of a bad plan, and that's what pushed me to rethink the whole process and eventually do something to fix it, which is exactly what I'm going to walk you through now. I set out to solve this problem by creating a completely new system, and that's how Force Equals was born. Force Equals is an AI planning operating system that automates portfolio planning, project context gathering, stakeholder mapping, requirements definition, and project handoff to execution. I'll quickly show you how it works. So if you want to follow along with me, you can try it for free by clicking the first link in the description. So to kick things off, the first thing you're going to do is start a new project. There's no form to fill out, no template to pick from, just a chat prompt. You describe your project in plain language, the same way you'd explain it to a colleague. The AI agent picks up the conversation from there, asks a few questions to get oriented, and you give it as much or as little detail as you have. You can upload existing documents if you have them. Once it has enough context, Force Equals builds the foundation of the plan on its own automatically. Your new project idea doesn't exist all by itself. It lives in a world where real-time company objectives, goals, KPIs, performance results, constraints, and external market signals impact what needs to be prioritized in your business. The combination of these organization priority signals with the live evolving context from the projects in the planning cycle drive clear go and no-go recommendations, creating momentum and alignment for the most important initiatives while deprioritizing work on ideas that won't move the needle for your business. And from there, you land in the planning dashboard. And this is where the whole project lives. You've got planning progress, stakeholder assignments, goals, a running count of how many hours of manual work the AI has already handled for you, all in one place. It also updates live as more context comes in, so you always know exactly where things stand. The stakeholder mapping shows you who's in the plan and who still needs to be pulled into the fill gaps. AI agents recommend roles based on the complexity of the project. The enterprise package, it can identify the specific individuals that should be engaged so nothing falls to the wrong person. The Context Explorer is where AI agents do a lot of heavy lifting on problem definition. It works across dozens of dimensions, things like problem statement, business case, financial highlights, architecture discovery, risk, build, buy requirements, and approval flow. And instead of scheduling another alignment meeting, the AI agent assigns specific questions to the right people based on their role, and the work gets distributed and managed automatically. On the goals side, the AI agent suggests project goals and their associated solutions, including detailed functional, technical, and operational requirements based on everything that it's gathered so far in the context of the project. Each one comes with a description, a priority level, an owner, a status, so nothing gets lost between planning and execution. You can take the suggestions, adjust to them, or add your own. And when the plan is ready and everything's approved, the handoff to execution goes directly from the platform. It connects to tools like Claude, Cursor, Asana, Jira, Monday, so your developers or project team or procurement team picks up exactly where the planning's left off. So there's no re-explaining or manual entry of the context because it's already there. Now, the obvious thing this changes is momentum and speed for your highest priority projects. But the bigger thing it changes is that the right people are aligned from day one instead of 6 months in. When stakeholders are brought in early and the planning work gets distributed automatically, the back and forth that normally eats up weeks and requires numerous time-consuming meetings gets handled in just hours. And the projects that would have stalled in planning actually get built. There's also a cognitive load side to this that's worth talking about. Planning something complex across multiple teams is mentally expensive. And most of that cost comes from having to hold all the context yourself. When the platform is tracking it, distributing it, and keeping it current, your team can focus on making decisions instead of managing logistics or tasks. And Force Equals tracks the time saved as you go, so it's not something you have to estimate or track yourself. Now, if you want to get your next enterprise project plan and do it fast, in hours instead of months, you can try Force Equals for free by clicking the first link in the description. You'll automate at least 30 hours of work in the first 30 seconds of every project using the system. And across a full planning lifecycle in an enterprise, hundreds and hundreds of hours are saved in every project. Again, you can get started by using the link in the description. And if you want to learn more about the tools for enterprise planning, check out this next video.